Hi, this is Mandla Dube. You are watching Anawe Live.
Hi, I'm Arnold Vosloo, and you're definitely watching Anawe Live. I told you I was going to mess it up. Anawe.
Feels so good.
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Feels so good.
Oh my God, it feels so good. Feels so good when you treat me like no other. No other. Feels so good when you call me your lover. Your lover. Feels so good. One lucky brother. Lucky brother. It feels so good. Oh yeah. It feels so good.
Hi, how's it?
Nice to meet you. I'm fine, and you?
Hi,
Hey, how are
this is
you?
Arnold Vosloo, and I'm Mandla Dube.
How you doing, man? What's your name?
Nganawe.
Manami Kunjani.
Nice to finally meet you guys. Thank you very much. So as I said, my name is Nganawe. I'm from the Nganawe Live YouTube channel. I'm a filmmaker, but I'm also, I have a YouTube channel where I promote South African cinema and the culture of South African cinema in general, film and television. And I can't contain my excitement right now. I'm with two legends in one room. This is too much greatness.
Oh,
Just
stop
one room,
it.
okay? Mandla Dube, Arnold Vosloo. So thank you so much. I don't have a lot of time, so I usually start with like very light, fun questions at the top of these interviews. You don't have to answer them now, you can answer them at the end. So with Mr. Mandla Dube, I just want to start with you. The first question is, what is a fun fact about you being a director that most people don't know? And this, with you, Mr. Arnold Vosloo, I mean, we haven't seen you here in quite a long time until recently. What did you miss about being in South Africa, having been international for so long? And then now we're getting to the actual real questions. The first question is to you, Mr. Mandla Dube, and is, you are now working with Thabura Metsi for the second time, if I'm not mistaken, as the lead character in a film of the same ilk. And my question is, how did this compare with Silverton Siege, working with him? How was the process? How was it now compared to when you worked with him in I think you guys shot in 2014, 2015?
Kalushi.
Yes. How was it just working with the same actor again? And I mean, what influenced that? What made you want to go with him again?
Look, I have a process of at least 8 weeks of rehearsals, with actors, at least, So in Kalushi, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
He had the script long before we started shooting, because I believe the longer the actors have the script, the more they will resonate with the characters, and the more credible their performances will be on the screen. It's a luxury, that we normally don't have locally, but I find it doesn't matter how small the budget is and all of that. So that's that. And then he had to audition, obviously at the time, Kalushi, in going to a studio like or a streamer like Netflix, they were like, well, yeah, we know you guys made Kalushi and all of that, but how about this person, how about that person? And I was like, all right, let's do it. But I'm telling you right now, Thabura is gonna kick ass, and we're gonna end up casting him. Yeah. Because I knew he already had the script. Right? Because I knew that he already had spent time with the character.
So important.
Yeah, it's so important, So he did that, and he came in and boom, he knocked it out. And then and then he was casted, right? So it's good for his career, and as it's good for also other characters. But that's how we did that. It was great because this time around I said to him, okay, make sure you negotiate into your contract that you go to the gym, you get a nutritionist, all that stuff, because you can't look like, you know what I mean? You gotta look good. Yeah. You're going up against actors that have coaches all the time. This is their lifestyle. They're in front of magazine covers. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's so sad, because you see the talent that we have locally. It's amazing, but because that life coach part of it is not really present, a lot of our actors end up, the diet issue doesn't get looked at, and it's so key, right? So that's what I said to him. I said, 6 months. I knew we were gonna make, Silverton Siege, and he was my guys for doing it.
Yeah.
And you know, and all the other kinks came with Netflix, you know, suggesting people. It's like, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, by the grace of the, you know, gods of cinema, he came in, and then he stuck to it. He went to the gym religiously. You know, he would like send me, what do they call that thing? Selfie videos.
Yeah.
You know, like, look how I'm doing, you know. So he was committed.
Yeah.
And that nothing, you know, talent is great, but hard work is everything.
All right, no, thank you very much. And moving on to you, Mr. Arnold Vosloo. I mean, you're one of our greatest exports when it comes to talent. I mean, you've starred in a lot of international films. Until recently, we haven't seen you in the country for so long. My question is, first of all, how did you come across Silverton Siege, and what made you want to go for it? But secondly, how did working with the illustrious Mandla Dube compare to the many, many other directors you've worked with throughout your career?
I was sent the script. I'll get to you in a second. I was sent the script by the casting director at first, and I read it and just fell in love with it, and of course the character of Captain Langerman, and then had a Zoom call with Mandla, and I sort of didn't even give him a chance. I was like, dude, I'm doing this movie for you. Just it's happening.
When do we start?
I mean, yeah, when do we start? I'm flying right now. Let's get it on. Let's do this. But it's been a dream of mine. I came back 3 years ago to do Griekwa Stad, an Afrikaans film we made in the Cape that won the SAFTA for Best Film last year in South Africa, and that was sort of the start of it. I did that and loved it so much, just being here and working with the local talent. And I said, that's it. I want to go back to South Africa at least once, if not twice a year, to do either television series or film on specifically African content. I don't want to make a movie in Joburg that's set in New York or Washington. It's Joburg and finish and klaar, like it is. In terms of Mandla, working with Mandla, it's just been the greatest gift. Him and I, for some reason, just connected, and we're just simpatico in a way, and I don't even like to talk about it because then I start crying and I look like a stupid old white man. But we're buddies, and we're gonna make a couple more movies together for sure.
Yeah,
That's really
it's easy, quote unquote, to direct folks that know what they're doing, because you're able to there's a shorthand. You know, you're able to get there quicker, as opposed to like, And then when they're not there, there's that look. You know, there are times where we said and he did, and I was like, Arnold, could you just do that again? This time around, let's do this, and that. He'll do it. And he's like, oh, you're not happy, are you? I'm like, no, I'm not happy. Let's go again. And then he'll do it, and he's like, did we get it? Don't cut if we didn't get it.
Yeah.
And I'm getting goosebumps now, just thinking about it, because I'm like, I literally get transported to the day when we're shooting.
Yeah.
And it was magical,
Yeah.
And when people are committed to doing something that they love, magic happens, and that's what I think happened,
All right. No,
We didn't force. It didn't feel forced, did it?
No, not at all.
It didn't feel forced, and I think that comes from rehearsal, like characters. I can't remember what we were talking about, and we were saying like, if you give a script to Thabo Rameti like a day or night before he has to shoot, and then he has to be in front of like I don't know, what's the guy's name that you did Blood Diamond with?
Leo DiCaprio.
Leo DiCaprio. He's got he's gonna be in front of Leo DiCaprio. Leo DiCaprio is gonna knock him out because he's had the script for 6 months.
He's been working on it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And Thabo has only had it the night before.
Yeah.
There's no way in the world he's gonna know that character. Yeah. So Arnold had the script months, and then obviously the characters, they had at least 8 weeks to work with it. And then it gave them, it's layered.
Yeah.
It's layered, and you see it in the performance,
No, unfortunately, I'm running out of time. Can I squeeze in a few more questions?
Closing comments.
Go. Don't ask. Go.
So these are long questions. The question was, you play a very conflicted character in the film because you're existing in a time where the system is an oppressive system, but it favors you. But at the same time, you understand that this is evil. How did you approach that, and what did you use or employ to actually approach portraying this character?
It was important. Mandla and I worked together in creating this guy that starts the day off wanting to lock these guys up and throwing away the key, and then being forced to engage with them over the course of this hostage situation, and really coming around and seeing their point of view. So we placed certain things at certain times in the film. Mandla fought for certain types of shots that would help facilitate that, and sometimes you work for those things and they don't end up in the movie, or it's just not that clear. But this time we caught magic, and it's all up on the screen. I think people are going to have a great time seeing this April 27th.
And with you, Mr. Mandla Dube, you've mentioned that this film is 60% based on or inspired by true events, rather, but then there's some 40% creative liberties that you took. We also do know that there was a bit of a controversy between the family of the characters, the characters that are based on. How did that affect or influence some of the creative liberties that you ended up having to take at the end of the day?
Well, I don't know what the percentage balance is, right? So what ended up happening was that I worked with the. There's a law that says that the closest next to kin, is who you have to listen to, in as far as storytelling is concerned. It's some law that So I looked at that law, and I went to the descendants of the trio, and then they took me to the graveside of where the guys are buried.
Yeah.
As we drove in, I think it's in deep, just outside of Deep Kloof in Soweto. As we drove in, like you see how sunny it is outside right now?
Yeah.
As we drove in, the weather changed, clouds formed, it started drizzling. Drove in, it started drizzling. They took me to the grave of where their ancestors are laying. It started raining, and then they introduced me. This was Nosima Foko. As she introduced me, I'm gonna get emotional now, but as she introduced me, I started talking and saying to them, look, I'm asking for permission to tell your story. And then there are tombstones were all fallen down, vandalized, and all that, right? And that answered a lot to do with the family. Like I'm coming from my heart. I'm not doing this because I want this glory and all that. I'm doing because I have a connection with what happened. I mean, my father asked me when I was 10 years old, when I saw the newspaper things like, what are you going to do when you get older to contribute to meaningfully to South Africa? Yeah. It was in like I think it must have been in Feb, because the event happened on January 25th. It was in February 1980. He asked me, we were in a car. So that's what I was offering as a storyteller.
Yes.
Right? And I wasn't trying to. So what I did, I took the liberty of making it entertaining and not tell a documentary. So I got the blessings of the guys that were in the bank. Who more can be able to say yeah or no? You know what I mean? And their children took me there. So as we are about to roll to make the film, like literally went with these actors as well to the graveside so that they could be able to meet and talk to the to the trio. And when we went there, beautifully, we had the tombstones put up. So so we literally went to resurrect their spirit in this film, and they will be known that the Free Nelson Mandela movement literally started with these three guys inside a bank. It didn't come up out of the sky. It was these three guys that were said, fuck it, we're going to have Nelson Mandela freed somehow. And literally in less than 10 years, they moved him from Robben Island to the mainland. And then before you know it, on February 11th, 1990, he was freed. Almost 10 years to the day. So,
All right. No,
did the Silverton Trio contribute to the liberation of South Africa and the new democracy for us to be sitting here and making a film called Silverton Siege? You
Yes.
better fucking believe it.
Yeah. All right.
They did.
No,
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much. They're chasing me
Sure.
out of the room now. So
Thank you,
it's been
man.
really great. Thank you.
But you,
Sure.
beautiful questions.
Thank you.
Thank you
Sure,
so
sure.
much.
Thanks, man.